postcard from vacation in Hawaii. Having a ball. Glad you're not here. After serving 4 months in jail, Nichols is a free man, out on bail despite never forking over a dime in child support. Still, his ex-wife says if the state doesn't go after these deadbeat dads, they'll never pay up.
I think that he would be going back home and living his lavish lifestyle had the FBI not picked him up.
All right, let's take a look at this issue, making public the names of deadbeat parents. Here's today's day-and-date flashpoint. Deadbeat parents should be publicly humiliated. On the left, agreeing with our flashpoint, is divorce and custody lawyer Harriet Cohen, live in New York City. And on the right, disagreeing with our flashpoint, the director of the National Center for Men, Mel Feit, who's also live in New York City. Thank you both for joining us. Mel, I want to start with you. The man in our piece had a warrant out for his arrest since 1991. He turned himself in the day after his name hit this list. How can you disagree with this new policy, saying it doesn't work?
Well, the man in your piece is a good example. He didn't pay child support for about 28 months. He wound up for 3 kids being in arrears about $140,000. $140,000. Nobody's fooling me. That's not child support. That's alimony. That's a lot of alimony, and he's in trouble because he's not going to be able to pay his ex-wife so she can go out and get a lot of good stuff for herself. I think there's a real sexist double standard here. If you're a man and you can't support your child, let's say you've been laid off from work or you're sick, society labels you a deadbeat, we make you a criminal, we put you in jail, we take away your licenses, we withhold your wages, we publicly humiliate you and destroy your life. But if you're a woman and you can't support your child, society writes you a check. We give you money, medical care, housing, food, and if you then, as a woman, turn around and deny a court order for visitation, society looks the other way. I don't think this has anything to do with children or justice. I think this is a sexist attitude that says that men are responsible for all the problems after divorce. I think it stinks of sexism.
Okay, Harriet, do you think this is a good idea, public humiliation?
I think that the law is necessary. It's gender neutral. This is a law that picks up men and women who don't pay support. Mr. Feit overlooks one thing. This is not something that was voluntary between them. A court of law ordered Mr. Brown and the other 9 people on that list to pay their support. Now we have many stringent measures across the country. Jail, removing their driver's licenses and their doctor's licenses and their lawyer's licenses from them. You know, if you don't pay, you can't play. And these people will manage to pay if they know that they're not going to be driving, that they're not going to be having their liberty. And this is not about men and women. This is about children's right to eat after a divorce.
Well, I don't buy it. I'm sorry. I think it is about men and women also. And if you can't practice your living, then you can't earn the money to pay. You know, I was called a few months ago by a woman who told me that her husband was sued for 5 years, $25,000 worth of retroactive child support for a child he never knew he had. Suddenly, instantly, this couple is $25,000 in arrears.
Okay, just a minute.
Let me just finish. Let me just make my point. This woman went into court and begged the judge, told the judge, please, Your Honor, we don't have the money. If you take it from us, I can't feed my children.
Mel, you made your point. Let me answer your point.
The judge didn't care about her kids.
The judge cared, and that was the right thing to do. You cannot allow 3 and 4 years of unpaid support while this Mr. Brown claims that he gave cars and vacations and trips. He did it the wrong way. He had to know what he was doing. If a court said pay X a week, excuse me, Mel, that's what he has to do. Otherwise, he has to go to court and he has to say to the judge, change it from $2,000 a week to $200 a week because these are my circumstances.
I think it was probably so exorbitant that he threw his hands up and gave up.
No throwing hands up. He knows enough to call you, Mel.
Harriet, I have a proposal for you because I think this will work for children. It may not be in the best interest of women, so you may not agree with it, but it would sure as work for kids.
Get to your point, Mel.
I think that when there's a divorce, a court should establish a bank account for the child. And every month, both parents, the father and the mother, should put a certain percentage of their income in that account.
I hear your point. Let me make a point now,
What do you think about that?
No, I'm going to tell you what I think about it. I think that you are representing misogynists. And that means men. Excuse me. That means men who represent.
Whoa, Mel.
Mel, let me answer you.
Let her finish, Mel. Let her finish.
I said I think you are representing misogynists, men who hate women. Money that goes into a household goes to the whole household.
All right, and on that note, while you're both silent, Harriet Cohen, Mel Feit, thanks for taking on our flashpoint today. So what do you think about this controversy? Should deadbeat parents be publicly